Alright, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy Stucky Beats, the Beatmaster. I'm back with a brand new video. It has been a while before I posted a video on this channel, but today I just woke up and felt like I should do a tutorial and post it for you guys. I'm going to be showing you today how to master a song professionally in Ableton Live. This is Ableton 9, and this is just a production I was working on, and I mastered it and felt like I should share ideas with you guys. So without any further ado, let's get into this. But before I show you guys what I've done, I used to use FL Studio before for my productions, but I felt like I just need to improve my workflow. So if you're wondering, like, this guy, his last tutorial was in FL Studio and today is in Ableton, don't worry, it's just a change of Ado as a digital audio workstation. Yeah, I just walked out of FL Studio and started using Ableton Live. So I hope it won't be a big deal for you guys. So I'm going to play this song before it was mastered, and also I'm going to play it with the mastering on it. Then I'll show you how I got it to there. So here's the song. Sorry, here's the song without the mastering.
It's a two-step production.
Hey yo, this a man flex, man from far, man digitally, sample like Mustani Steve-O, 20.
Alright, so I'm going to play it from the chorus. I know you guys don't understand the language, but don't worry. Just get the ideas of how this mastering was done. So the first thing before you start any mixing or mastering, you must make sure your PC or computer volume is at volume of 50, because that is the default volume of your computer. And this allows you to be able to pull up the limiters and every other processing that you put on your song. It makes it sound perfect, and it gives room for the person who's going to listen to that production to change the volume of the song. If he or she doesn't like it at 50, you might move it to 80 or 100 or below, you know. So make sure your volume is always at 50 when you're mixing and mastering. Okay, now this is the song with the mastering on it.
It's a two-step production.
Hey yo, this a man flex, man from far, man digitally, sample like Mustani Steve-O, 20.
I hope you have noted the difference.
It's a two-step production.
Hey yo,
That was with no mastering, and with the mastering again.
It's a two-step production.
hey yo.
Yeah, so I'm going to show you guys how I got this song to this mastered feeling or sound. So the first thing you have to do, you have to make sure you have done a good mix of your beat and a good mix of your vocal. Then export them separately, the beat separately and the vocal separately. Like you can see here, I have my vocals.
Hey yo, this a man flex, man from far, man digitally.
Right, and also I have my beat separately.
It's a two-step production.
Yeah, such that when you put the master on it, you'll be able to balance the two such that one doesn't sound louder than the other one. They should be balanced. So I'm going to switch off my VST, sorry, and we're going to process this mastering from scratch. So the first thing, you select the loudest part of your song, of which it is usually the chorus in most music that we make today. So I'll loop at my chorus.
Twende.
There, I'll loop it. Just a moment. The loop at the chorus. I think up to there. Yes. Then I'll loop it. Okay. So that is the first step. Loop at the loudest part of the production, mostly the chorus, or if it's the beat, you listen to the loudest part in that beat or song. Now the first thing I put here, as you see, I put a glue compressor. So I'll come to my audio effects and find my glue compressor. Oh my god, Jesus. It's not showing, but I can just copy this one, copy, paste, and I'll remove. I'll make it default. So as you can see, it is not processing anything. I use the glue compressor to chop off the high parts, so I just put it gently. So you just trigger the threshold. Just a little bit, don't put it too much. Don't do that, just put it simple. Like that. And I'll just put a low makeup gain of 1 dB. Because at the end I'll still bring on a limiter and I'll push the volume up. Next, we do what we call the EQing. So I'll show you guys how I did this cut. So I'll duplicate this, copy, paste. Where are you? Paste. And I set it to default setting. So the first thing we are going to do, we are going to cut off the lows and the highs that are not being heard by anybody. Okay, so what you do to your Pro Q EQ, you first of all change it. You change the channel mode from left to right to mid or stroke side. Then you play and look to look at the side that you want to cut. When you look at this low side, this part from 0 to negative 20 dB is usually not heard to anybody by anybody. So we have to cut it because it will just make our master sound muddy. So prepare my EQ low cut. Yeah, then I make it 48. Don't cut it too high, just bring it down low and make sure it is mid. Okay, so we will cut the lows as we listen to where they sound good. Because I'm not hearing anything on this left side. Okay, next I will cut my highs, the ones that are also not being heard. So I'll make it 72 high cut. Yes, then make sure it is the middle. That is stereo placement, I think. Make sure it is in the middle. and cut the highs that you're not hearing. So I'll do that. Great. Okay, the next thing I'll do, I will cut in the middle where the mid and the bass, the mid side and the low side, or the mid band and the low band separate. I will separate the two also with a side EQ. So I'll make it low. Don't make it too sharp also. Just lower it like, oh my god. Let it be on the same band as this other one. So just lower it a little bit also. Shit. Like that. Okay, so I'll listen as I cut also to this one. This one you must make sure it is on the side, and this one should be at the center, I think. Yeah, this one should be the mid side, so this one should cut the side. So I'll listen as I cut. Around 200 and let me make it 215. Yes, sounds good around there. What this EQ does here, just separates the low side and the mid side, makes it sound good. Next, after cutting your low, your high, and doing your mid side cut, what we do, we also look for the muddy side on the mid band, and we also cut it to give our production some good vibes, and also clear the mid side so that it becomes clear. So you just find the spot that you want to cut with your EQ and you bring it down. So let's do that. Yeah, I'm gonna cut this side. I'll bring it down. Not so much, just a little. Make it a little bit sharp. Then also I'm going to find the high side that are whistling and also cut them. And cut it, not so much, just a little bit. What we are doing here, we are just polishing our production, because mixing is where you boost a lot of stuff and also cut a lot of stuff. So in mastering, you just cut a little bit just to make it clear and look and sound nice also. So we are done with the EQ. So as I said earlier, you cut your low, you cut your highs, you cut your mid side, you find the mud places in the mid and the highs also, and bring them down, and you're done with your EQ. So we move out of it. Next we move to the multiband compressor, and this is where you make things sound perfect, because you are able to separate the low, the mid, and the highs, such that you have the controls over them. So I normally like to start with my low side. What you have to do here, you just play and listen. So you solo, you can see when you solo it turns to blue. So what we want to do, we want to separate our low from the mid. So you will tweak this knob till you don't hear the mid side. Okay, so let's do that. What you want to make sure is that the low should sound like it is playing on the other side of the room of your neighbor's house. So be keen with it, don't overdo it, because if you overdo it, also your mastering won't be cool. Sounds good for me there. Next we move to the mid side, the mid side, and we shall use this other knob written on the highs, so that this one will help us separate the mid and the high side. So we'll tweak this knob till we don't hear any highs. So you must not be able to hear the hats in the mid side. So let's do that. Yeah, sounds good. So when you listen to your highs, it doesn't have the mid side, which means you're done with your multiband compressor. At this point, you can listen at your production, the way it is feeling. Okay, sounds good. Next, what we do, we put the stereo enhancer just to give our final master a stereo feeling, and we drop it down. So what you do, you will tweak these knobs until you hear something sweet. You just find the sweet spots that where you want the stereo to be, and you just let it be there, and you feel like, whoa, you just made the best production in the world. So I had previously tweaked them because I'd felt the stereo is good. What you want to make sure is you don't make one point to be too much stereo. You must keep the lows, you must keep the mids, and you must also keep the highs. So I'll not tweak this one, but when you're making your production, make sure you tweak them, because if I tweak them, I might lose my stereo feeling. So why is this preset? I can show you. Yes, I got it there. You can just click here, then you go to stereo and you select stereo enhancer. Then you can tweak them till you find the correct feeling that you want and the correct vibe for the song you're producing, and it will be cool. Okay, so I hope you guys will do that. Next, we put some little bit of distortion. I don't know if these plugins will show. I wanna use the Fab Filter Saturon. I hope it will work. Yes. Let's use the Fab Filter Saturon for distortion. I'm avoiding the overdrive because it has some pretty cool settings that might sound complicated for you guys. So let's put some little bit of distortion to our mastering. So the first thing, you try gentle saturation. Then we shall tweak the drive band. Then we shall mix it with the band mix knob. Okay, you just use your ear to listen to how the distortion sounds. Don't put it too much and also don't put it too low. So let's do that. Sounds great. I normally spend a lot of time when I'm mastering because I need to listen to everything and make sure they sound good. So because this was just a tutorial, I'm just showing you guys what you should be doing. So just pick up the idea and do it at your own free time, and make sure the mix, the mastering you're doing sounds perfect. So I hope this distortion sounds good. Yeah, sounds good. And we are just about to finish our mastering. So quick, I'll go through what I did. I put the glue compressor, okay, tweaked the threshold a little bit and added a little bit of makeup gain. I brought up my EQ, cut the low, cut the highs, cut the mid side, then also find the muddy side in the mid and the highs and bring that down. From there you do your multiband compressor, okay. Then from there you put your stereo enhancer, okay. From there you put a distortion to the master, okay. And finally we are now about to make things sound loud. You bring in your one and only beautiful Fab Filter Pro QL. I like this plugin for mastering because of the meters. Its meters are just cool because when you're mastering, you're able to see how far you're pushing the knob. So we'll use our gain knob just to bring things up because we have already processed them. So this knob is just to add volume to it and make it sound good and also loud, okay. So without wasting time, we're going to make things loud. Make sure your volume is at 50 as I said earlier, and we're just going to bring this gain knob up till we feel it is too much. Then we also bring it down, then we just balance it and we shall have our master. So you play your song and bring this knob up till you feel you got the nice volume for it, okay. So we do that. good.
Twende. Twende.
Let's make this one just 19.
Twende.
Yeah, and that is it. Bam, we are done with mastering. So what do? We listen to our song from the top.
It's a two-step production.
Hey yo, this a man flex, man from far, man digitali, sample like Mstani Steve-O, twende.
Yeah, so we are done. What you have to do, mine are already balanced. Because when you bring on your vocals and your beat into the playlist, you will have them at 0 dB. So what you do after you do mastering, you go in ahead and balance them using this knob. Make sure your vocal is sitting on top of the beat and not the beat sitting on top of the vocal. Okay, the vocal should be sitting on top of the beat. And also you can add in a little bit of reverb and delay, and must also EQ your reverb and delay. I'll be doing a comprehensive video on how to EQ your reverb and delay. I think it should be the next tutorial. So stick on to the channel. What was I saying? Yes, you add a little bit of reverb and delay to your vocal so that it might also sit on the beat, and you are ready to export. So let's do the exporting. I think this is going to take a while. So let's export. Let's export our audio. Just put it on the desktop. So hope it's going to render faster. Quick. I'm just going to show you guys how the waves look like, because you must also look at your waves and also listen to the master outside the DAW, so that you can go back to the DAW and balance things over. So let's see how our waves will look like after Ableton has finished exporting our master. See, mastering is just pretty simple, not complicated, but you must make sure you have a great cool mix. Yeah, maybe I'll also show you guys how to mix professionally in Ableton. I'm using Ableton 9.7, I think. Yeah, 9.7. It's the latest, so you guys can get it from their website. Yeah, for just a little bit. Alright. Quick. Great. Okay. So I'll mute my Ableton and go check out my audio production. Where are you? How did I put it? Oh gosh. Where did I put it? Shit. Show desktop icons. Where did our audio go to? Jesus. You see that? Let's find it and see. Where did we export it to? Ratio mastering. Oh gosh. Alright, I've seen it. It is here. So I normally open it with Adobe Audition, because there you can also see your waves. So this is Adobe Audition CC. I normally like checking my waves, as I had said earlier. Wow. So that's how it looks like. And So you can also play and
It's a two-step production.
Hey yo, this a man flex, man from far, man digitali, sample like Mstani Steve-O, twende.
You guys hearing what I can hear? I think the vocals are far too much louder than the beat. Yes, I'd put it at -4, but I'm not going to export it again. What you must make sure is just to you listen and make sure everything is balanced. Yeah, so you can also look at your levels.
It's a two-step production.
Hey yo, this a
You can see it is hitting 0. Yeah, so when you're mastering, you must make sure you're hitting 0 and it's not clipping. Okay,
man flex, man from far, man digitali.
cool. That has been it for today, guys. I was teaching you mastering, and I hope you guys have enjoyed. If there's any part that you guys have not understood, you will feel free to ask me a question in below in the comment section, or you can also go back to the video and watch it again. Also invite your friends to subscribe. As you subscribe, let me see you in the next video. Have a good, amazing